All right, yo. As you probably know, tomorrow commemorates 250 years of this great nation. And I know 250 is kind of young compared to most of the other guys out there, but we have contributed a ton over those 250 years, especially in the automotive industry. So we're going to do a little something different this week to commemorate 250 years. We're counting down the top 7 American hot rods on this episode of Pugliese Speed Shop. All right, so I know you guys are already asking, why top 7? Well, I'll answer that question with this question. Why not top 7? And with that, we're going to jump right into it. So the number 7 selection is going to either make all the Mopar guys super happy or super mad that it's not number 1. And that is the 1969 Dodge Charger. I probably don't even have to mention this, but anybody anywhere near my age, born in the 70s, raised in the 80s, remembers the most iconic, famous, memorable, whatever adjective you want to use, the car of that whole era that made all of us get into cars, the General Lee. Right? Came out on the Dukes of Hazzard. You guys remember Daisy. Well, I know you remember Daisy, but that wasn't the star. She was awesome, but not the star of the show. The star of the show was the General Lee. We seen him jumping things. We seen him landing somehow. The iconic horn. The paint job, the 01 on the door, the flag that everybody's mad about nowadays, or maybe that's over now. I don't know. Either way, we cannot forget the show. We cannot forget the car. So I probably don't need to go on that one anymore. There was also 69 Charger, Dirty Mary, Crazy Larry, right? Again, I think it came out in 74, so a little bit before my time, but not to worry, because then it came out with Death Proof in like 2005 that had a 69 Charger in it. Every time, guys, this thing was just there, in your face, perfect Coke bottle styling, the hidden headlights, you know, the gas cap on the, everything was just amazing. It was like perfectly placed all over the car. Then Drive Angry came out, Nicolas Cage in it, the 69 Charger in it. And as if we didn't have enough of the 69 Chargers, the Dukes of Hazzard ruined like 300 or 400 of those things. 68s were out there, right? Bullet, the car known as a Hitman, or the guy known as a Hitman, was chasing Steve McQueen's 68 Bullet Mustang throughout the whole movie in a 68 Charger. The Fast and the Furious, you guys remember that? The car that, you know, would live our lives a quarter mile at a time. That was a 70 Charger. And from my own memory, my cousin Freddie had a 68 that he loved the 69 so much, he put 69 taillights in it. So you can see how these cars will never be forgotten. A permanent place in American history. That's why it's number 7. Guys, all right, here it is. The number 6 most American hot rod is the 1964 and a half Ford Mustang. For you guys that don't know, the most intelligent marketing ever. They debuted this car at the World's Fair in April, I want to say it was April 17th, 1964. And they bought up the ad time for all 3 networks that were out there at the time. So everybody saw this car and everybody wanted it. It immediately became the pony car. So, you know, that's for all to follow after that. And even though I'm a Chevy guy, the Camaro came 2 years later to try and compete with the Mustang. The Mustang's the only thing that was forever running. It hasn't, the Camaro's taken a break, the Trans Am is gone, all that kind of stuff. The Challenger, the Charger, all those have been gone and come back. Not the Mustang. In fact, The Mustang managed to keep going through the gas crisis with the Mustang 2 being like the best-selling Mustang of all time. So they figured it out all off of this car, built on a T-Bird chassis. Unfortunately, for the guys that are in love with these things, it was known as the ladies' hot rod, but still a hot rod. It was in such movies as one of my favorites, Lock Up. They had this Mustang out there. They rebuilt it in a prison and then tore it up out there. And then it got tore up, so that was unfortunate. The Outsiders, all they ever talked about is Mustangs are tough. Uncle Jesse had one. No, not that Uncle Jesse.
Have mercy.
Yeah, that Uncle Jesse. In the show Full House, every time somebody debuted a cool car from like your cool uncle or whoever, they had a 64, 65 Mustang, which is kind of ironic for me because my uncle drives a 65 Fastback, and he's pretty cool. All right, quickly, we're at number 5. And the number 5 most American hot rod is near and dear to my heart because it was also my first car. A 1977 Pontiac Trans Am. Again, I probably don't got to tell you the movie, but Smokey and the Bandit. Known as the Bandit Trans Am, just out there doing crazy things, jumping bridges, all sorts of power slides and everything else, which I don't know how he did that with 185 horsepower in that heavy car. But, you know, television is a beautiful thing and we can make things happen. Those cars, I ended up getting mine because my old man saw it on the lot and could not let it go because, you know, he did some growing up in the 70s and everybody loved the movie. Showed it to me, I had to have it, and that was the end of it, right? Mine wasn't black, mine was, you know, doo-doo brown, but that's fine because if it was black, man, those prices have gone crazy, and it's styling that'll never go away. All the flares, the spoilers, the air dams on the side, I don't think any of it really did anything, but it definitely looked cool. The shaker hood, forget about it, that was amazing. The inside was, well, the back seat was pretty useless, but you could squeeze some people back there. It screamed 70s, but somehow it aged so well that it's still super cool. The Rockford Files. He didn't have a Trans Am. He had an Esprit, which is actually it was a formula to look like an Esprit because he was supposed to be luxury, but that car had a Trans Am drivetrain in it, and he was getting after it. So can't ever forget. There's going to be always a part in time where the 77 Trans Am was just it. And then it quickly fell off into the third gens. And, well, I think we should stop talking about that. The number 4 most American hot rod is not even a car, guys. It's a truck. The square body Chevy.
I like square body Chevys, but I ain't from the 80s.
It ranged from 1973 to 1987. And all of them are equally cool. Whether you got a round eye or you got a square eye, long bed, short bed, 2-wheel drive, 4-wheel drive, lifted, lowered, doesn't matter. Screams cool. The funny part of this whole thing is when I was growing up, going to high school in the 90s, that was a $500 truck and everybody had them and nobody really cared. Now we all wish we'd get those trucks back. Just recently, they remade the movie, the show, The Fall Guy, was like, had a square body Chevy, I want to say with 3/4 ton, long bed 4-wheel drive, and he was out here doing Dukes of Hazzard stuff in a pickup, which was incredible. And I said, just a couple years ago, they came out with the Fall Guy movie where he's still out there doing it in the same square body, and we're loving it. It's one of those things that it just keeps on coming back. Even the country rap game, there's a song, Square Body Chevy.
I like square body Chevys, but I ain't from the 80s.
So, again, it's just like the Mustang, just like the Trans Am, just like the Charger, but it's never going to stop being cool. Actually, the square body has jumped up and gone crazy lately to where it's the epitome of cool, cooler than most of the cars out there. You guys know we've had Roy on the channel, and we had the Suburban for a while. Everybody loves them. And the more I'm talking about it, I might need to get my hands on another one. All right, guys, we're getting through this list pretty quick. We're already at number 3. And the number 3 most American hot rod goes to the 1964 GTO. And for good reason. If you guys know anything about muscle cars at all, the 64 GTO is credited as being the first ever muscle car. And if you look at the car, you can totally see why. Pontiac took this, John DeLorean, actually working for Pontiac, said, how do we do this, guys? Let's get to it. And if you know anything about DeLorean, he had some ideas, right? Well, way back in 1963, he said, let's take a 2,700-pound Tempest. Let's put a 389 from a big body car in it, throw a 4-speed behind it, and let's see what happens. And they did it, and this is what happened. The GTO was born. The muscle car was born. I think they might have had a little bit of insight that the Mustang was coming out in 65, and Pontiac had to try and do something to get ahead of it. I think they freaking nailed it. I personally had one. Mine had a 428 with a 4-speed, and wow, right? That thing would get it. And right out of the box with the 389 tri-power setup, the look of the tri-power, the feel of the 4-speed, the interior was just basic, but all there, right? Like, I didn't have a console in mine. I think it looks better without it. You got the trumped up version that did have, buckets and a console. It came with some options, but not a whole lot. It was pretty much about going fast in a straight line. And as usual, you guys know I'm a Pontiac guy. I think Pontiac absolutely nailed it with this one. It got a little tough for me to rate where to put it, but I think the number 3 spot is exactly where it belongs. And 64 GTO is killing it at the number 3 spot. Only 2 left, guys. And I'm going to tell you what, the competition got pretty tight right here. But at the end, the number 2 most American hot rod goes to the Tri-5 Chevy. 1955 to 1957 Chevys. The Bel Airs, of course, everybody knows, but the 210s, the Nomads, the 150s, the wagons, the sedan deliveries, which nobody really likes, but I do, all right? They're just, you cannot, the styling alone. Now, I know I'm a 55 guy. American Graffiti, right? You got, who's the guy that played Han Solo? Whatever. He's riding around that black 55 trying to find Milner all night. And, yeah, he's, well, if you've seen the movie, you know. But, man, I think it was just mean, right? And, then they rebuilt that same car, I think a year later, for 2-lane blacktop and more of a gasser style with, primer, down and dirty hot rod. Just going across country, killing it, trying to whip up on that judge the whole time. Then, most recently, a couple years back, Mike Finnegan pulled a 55 Chevy out of somewhere in Colorado or something and rebuilt it, and then just keeps on making it better. And we actually were lucky enough to go see it at Drag Week last year, where he's just ripping wheelies, not on purpose, but my God, the power. And put on a show for everybody. The car was just amazing. And I got to see it up close. We were actually in the pits and everything. It was just super dope. The 56, it's kind of like the redheaded stepchild of it. I don't want to say nobody likes it, because my buddy Chip's got one. He loves it. Howie Mook's got one. He loves it. It's just, they're more attainable. I can promise you that, because everybody was wants a 55 because of all the movies. Or the 57, they really turned it on with all the chrome trim and the white inlays and the bullets on the hood. Everything just got so 1957, right? a cult classic, Eddie and the Cruisers. He had a teal one that he was running around in. Well, he pretended to be running around in. You have to watch the movie. But there was a convertible. It was a teal with a white top. He's running around the movie in that. And guys, it wouldn't be one of my videos if I didn't mention that Dan from DD Speed Shop has about 30 of these things.
What's happening, guys? Dan here, DD Speed Shop, and today we're doing, well, 57 Chevy stuff. We're always doing Tri-5 stuff around here.
He's got the 57 that his girl Danielle drives, the 55. He's got all of them. He's got almost one of every model, and because he doesn't have a 56, I think. But either way, another movie, Catch Me If You Can, not the one with Tom Hanks. I'm talking about the good one from the 80s, where they were high school kids racing to save the school with a jukebox, and it was like Fast Eddie was involved. They had a car hidden underneath the football field. That car that Fast Eddie drove was a 57 Chevy. I think it started out black and then ended up, started out red, then it had flames on. I don't know. It was an 80s movie. You got to check it out. But the Tri-5 Chevy definitely coming in strong at number 2. All right, you guys hung in, and we're about to unveil the number 1 most American hot rod of all time. And guys, this is undisputed. There's no way you can argue it. It's the Model A. The Model A, as you go from 1929 till 1932, oh my God. Guys, it does not get any more American hot rod than this. Again, I'll reference American Graffiti, John Milner's coupe. Wow. Stole the show, and it's how many replicas have been made, how many people went out and bought Model A's just because of that. Man, you guys chopped that top just 3 inches out of it, on some deuce rails, and man, put a small block Chevy in it, so it's Chevy where it counts. Gotta have a stick, and then you're the coolest guy in the whole town. That's all there is to it. And I think Milner proved it 100%, and locally it was the same thing. My cousin Sal built an amazing 1930 Model A 5-window coupe. That thing ran around Brooklyn, and everybody around there knew that car for years to come. It's just, he had the blue version of the Milner coupe, and guys, it's the simplicity, the coolness, you can put anything into it. You can do anything with it. My buddy Kyle now has built what he calls low blow, and it's a little different than most Model A's, but a dual blower setup, yeah, okay. Burnout King, donuts, all that. It's just the idle. Listen to the idle of this thing. Does it get any more American than that? The most in your face, I'm here to stay. That's all there is to it. The quintessential hot rod. It can't be argued with, guys. I know this list might upset some people because they think this or that might have been number 1. I don't care who you are. There's no way you're arguing that the Ford Model A is not the number 1 American hot rod of all time. Well, that's it, guys. That's the list. Love it or hate it. That's what I came up with. Drop a comment. Let me know what you guys think. Were we close to your list? Did anything change your mind? I know for me, what I'm going to go do right now is I'm going to jump on Facebook, start looking at Marketplace and see what all these cars are going for, because now I can't stop thinking about all the cool cars that we've had in this country. So remember what they say, though, guys. If you want to have the coolest thing in the parking lot, you better be ready to put in some work. And sometimes that work is taking a day out of the shop, daydreaming about a bunch of hot rods, and telling the internet all about it. Thanks for watching, guys. Have a happy and safe 4th.